Photographing hands. Photographing a close-up on hands can be a powerful way to capture detail, express emotion, and tell a story. Whether it's showcasing the hand's beauty, revealing an action, or conveying a deeper meaning, here's some information to consider when focusing on the model's hands. Composition and framing. Frame the shot tightly to emphasize the hands as the main subject. Fill the frame with the hands, focusing on the details, lines, and textures. Experiment with different angles, perspectives, and orientations to find the most visually appealing composition. Lighting and shadows. Pay attention to lighting when photographing hands. Soft, diffused lighting can highlight the details and textures without harsh shadows, while directional lighting can add depth and drama. Consider using natural light, window light, or artificial lighting techniques to achieve the desired effect. Hand positioning and gesture. Guide the model on hand positioning and gestures that convey the desired emotion or action. Hands can be clasped, relaxed, gripping an object, or engaged in a specific activity. Encourage natural and expressive hand movements that add visual interest and help tell a story. Detail and texture. Focus on capturing the intricate details and textures of the hands. Highlight the lines, wrinkles, veins, and unique characteristics that make each hand unique. Use a narrow depth of field to create a shallow focus and draw attention to specific areas of the hands. Storytelling and symbolism. Hands can be powerful symbols in photography. Consider the context and meaning behind the hands you're photographing. Hands can represent strength, vulnerability, creativity, love, or a range of emotions. Incorporate elements that complement the narrative or add layers of meaning to the image. Background and props. Pay attention to the background and props when photographing hands. A clean and uncluttered background will ensure that the hands remain the main focus. However, incorporating relevant props or contextual elements can enhance the storytelling and add depth to the image. Focus and depth of field. Place the focus on the key areas of the hands, such as the fingertips or the center of attention. Experiment with depth of field to create different effects. A wide aperture, low f-stop number, can create a shallow depth of field, isolating the hands from the background. Alternatively, a narrow aperture, high f-stop number, can bring the entire hand into focus. Editing and post-processing. Enhance the details and textures of the hands during the editing process. Adjust the contrast, sharpness, and clarity to bring out the intricate elements. Consider black and white conversion for a timeless and dramatic look. Collaboration and communication. Work closely with the model to ensure they are comfortable and understand the desired hand positions and gestures. Communicate the mood or story you wish to convey through the hands and guide them accordingly. Encourage the model to express themselves and bring their own personality to the shoot. Experiment and explore. Don't be afraid to experiment with different hand positions, gestures, lighting setups, and compositions. Explore different angles, focal lengths, and creative techniques to capture unique and captivating images of the hands. Photography is a creative process, so allow yourself to play and discover new possibilities. Remember, capturing a close-up on hands requires attention to detail and the ability to convey emotion or tell a story through this often overlooked part of the body. Adapt these tips to your artistic vision, the model's comfort, and the specific context of the shoot. With practice and exploration, you'll develop your own techniques and style for creating compelling images focused on the model's hands. Here are some tips for photographing a close-up on hands. Select a focal point. Decide on the specific aspect of the hands that you want to focus on, such as the fingers, palms, or specific details like jewelry or nail art. This will help you determine the composition and framing of the shot. Use a macro lens or zoom in. To capture intricate details, consider using a macro lens or zooming in with your telephoto lens. These options allow you to get closer to the hands and capture finer textures and lines. Consider lighting. Lighting plays a crucial role in highlighting the details and textures of the hands. Soft, diffused light works well to minimize harsh shadows and bring out the subtleties in the skin and features. Experiment with natural light, studio lighting, or diffusers to achieve the desired effect. Control depth of field. Experiment with different aperture settings to control the depth of field. A wide aperture, low f-stop number, will create a shallow depth of field, blurring the background and drawing attention to the hands. A narrow aperture, high f-stop number, will keep more of the hands and background in focus. Hand positioning and gesture. Guide the model in posing their hands in a way that is visually interesting and complements the desired mood or message. Experiment with different hand positions, gestures, and angles to create dynamic and engaging compositions. Experiment with angles. Explore different angles and perspectives to find the most visually appealing composition. Shoot from various angles, including from above, from the side, or from below, to capture different aspects of the hands and create unique compositions. Pay attention to background and props. Keep the background simple and uncluttered to avoid distractions. Use a solid color backdrop or a plain surface that doesn't compete with the hands. If relevant to the story or concept, incorporate props that enhance the narrative or add visual interest. Enhance the details. During post-processing, pay attention to enhancing the details and textures of the hands. Adjust the contrast, sharpness, and clarity to bring out the intricate elements. Be careful not to overdo it, maintaining a natural look while still emphasizing the details. Experiment with monochrome. Consider converting the image to black and white or desaturating it to create a timeless and artistic look. Monochrome can emphasize the shapes, textures, and contrasts of the hands, adding a sense of drama and elegance. Capture emotion and story. Hands can convey a wide range of emotions and tell stories on their own. Encourage the model to express their emotions or engage in activities that reflect a particular narrative. Capture gestures that evoke curiosity, tenderness, strength, or vulnerability.